Hey guys, welcome to the Skolo Online YouTube channel, the channel that is all about learning, okay? In this channel, we make a lot of videos on web development, WordPress design, e-commerce development, Python development, and a whole lot more. We will take you through the process of everything we're teaching you from beginning to end, step by step, so that you can follow along and build as we build, all right? If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button is going to be red right underneath the video that you're watching, and like this video and comment on these videos. Let us know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, so that we can create content that is more relevant to what you guys want to watch, okay? Also, underneath the video that you're watching, there is that show more button underneath the description. Please open it up and have a look at some of the links that we've created for you. Every time that we make a video, we will add all the useful links underneath it. So if you hear me saying in the video that I'm going to link it in the description below, that's where you'll find the link in the description underneath the video, all right, for more information to help you learn along, all right? And a lot of the videos that we make, also we will create timestamps because our videos are long. You don't have to watch the entire video. You can go through these timestamps and read which part of the video you are interested in watching. Click on the timestamp and it will fast forward you to that part of the video, and you only have to watch that, all right? And we also have linked in the description below our social media channels, so feel free to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We've got our website right there, and if you want to get in touch with us, my email address is also available in the description below. So let's start learning. In this video, we're going to be building a web application from scratch without any coding involved. So we've done a lot of videos on this channel where I've shown you how to build a web application using Python, using Django, even using Flask. But let's say you come across a person who doesn't want to do any development, any coding whatsoever, but they still want to build a web application. And by web application, I mean a whole website structure that has a database, a server, and a front end. Let's say, like an e-commerce website, or, an online learning course website, a website that has some sort of back-end database. Usually the back-end database requirements is what leads you to have to write code, to have to write code for your SQL database or whatever database that you use. And then some people just want to be able to do it without requiring any coding experience. So I'm going to show you that in this video. But before I get started, I think it's only fair that I show you this diagram. Let's go through this very, very quickly. Because whenever you build a web application, you always have to make a decision between whether you are going to do it with programming or without programming. A lot of the times people feel like they have to do the programming because they want to be able to customize it, but then you come across people that actually would prefer if there was a simpler way, all right? So the good news is there is a simpler ways, and there is platforms out there that can help you to develop even the type of application we've done on this channel, but without requiring any Python skills or back-end web development. Now, when you're making this decision, whether you're going to go for programming or no programming, what is it that you have to keep in mind? And whatever platform you go with, whether you're going to code it on Django or you're going to do it on JavaScript, whatever, I'm not being platform specific now. I'm just telling you from a high level, what are those things you have to consider. If you want to go for no programming options, and no programming options are things like Softr, which is what we're going to do in this video today, or Shopify, right? There's always standardized things that you need to know. The first of all is that this is going to be your most expensive option because everything is sort of managed for you, all right? Companies that do this do it as a service to you, and they're going to charge you for it. So there is not going to be anything like create a website from scratch with the database authentication for free. You'll never come across anything like that. Every time you're going to come across a platform that allows you to do this, they will expect to get something in return, and you're going to have to pay for it. A lot of these platforms will have trial versions, or a version where you can start with a small website so you can see how it works, and they want to entice you, but the moment you want to build anything valuable, you are going to have to pay for it. And the other downside to it is that payment usually involves a monthly or an annual payment, and you have to do it for as long as you're using the platform, all right? So the cost is always going to be an issue. This is why a lot of the times I've migrated, e-commerce people from Shopify to WooCommerce because of the cost. And if if cost is an issue, then you are going to want to stay away from these options, right? Coding it from scratch there will probably be cost involved with hosting the things or whatever, but it will be the cheapest option. All right. You might not be able to avoid a cost, but it will be your cheapest option if you go coding it yourself, right? Cost. Number 2, flexibility. All right. Flexibility. When you are using these platforms, because they try to create a product that fits almost everybody, you find that then the flexibility is going to be limited. So you're going to trade off flexibility. You're going to get templates that they give you. And a lot of those templates are pretty standard and they're very sort of rigid. And there's very little flexibility that you can do on the templates. And if you really want to edit it, then you're going to still have to code HTML. And if you have to code HTML anyway, then why not just code it yourself and build your own website? You understand what I'm saying? So these drag and drop options usually have very limited flexibility. You have to work within the confines of what they give you, okay? So if you're trying to build something very, very simplistic that doesn't require a lot of customization, yes, then you can go for these options. But if you want something that looks sort of unique and you really want to, make your mark, then maybe that's not the option for you, all right? Customization usually is the driver that decides whether you're going to go for this option or you're going to go for the other option, okay? The last lever to consider is the time to market. With a lot of these platforms where everything is sort of like done for you, it's going to be the fastest time to market, whether it's Shopify or even Wix, it's going to be your fastest time to market because everything is right there for you. I've seen you can do it even like in an hour, 30 minutes, pick a template, put things together, add your logo over there, customize a few words, boom, get your website online, all right? But when you have to code it yourself from scratch, the time to market usually is going to take a little bit longer because you have to write the code, you have to test, you have to do a lot of back-end things, make sure that your website is right, fix problems, bugs, and all sorts of things, so it's going to take time. The last thing, obviously, is also the skills, all right? Skills required. Now, if you're going to be using these online builders, a lot of the times you don't need a lot of skills, and I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to test Softr for the first time. I'm not a fan of online builders because I'm a developer myself. However, I come across clients every now and then that want to move to that option because they want to have the flexibility to know if they can do things themselves and save money on developers because developers are also becoming more and more expensive, right? So, you don't need a lot of skills. You can watch a YouTube video quickly, like the one I'm going to make you today. And even without watching a YouTube video, a lot of them are very intuitive. You drag and drop pieces, edit a couple of words here and there, and your website is good to go. Whereas if you want to code from scratch, you do require some skills. There is some knowledge, of course, depending on which platform you're using, and I've got videos on this channel as well. If you want to acquire those skills, it's really up to you. So when you're building a web application, you have to consider all these things, all right? I always say, if you have time and skills, always go for the option where you're going to code it from scratch because it will be your cheapest option, all right? And you'll have more flexibility and you'll have, for me as a developer, because I do have the skills, I almost always go for this option, right? But there are options and there are situations where I also go for the builders. And this will be situations where I'm building something simplistic and even though I know I could code it by hand, I know it will be faster if I do it that way. And if the client is also willing to pay. Some clients don't have a problem. They will pay if you charge them. If your client is going to pay 20K for a website, and they don't mind having the monthly payments for as long as they're using it, then maybe you want to go for this option if it's going to be faster time to market. So you got to weigh these things when you're deciding which one you're going for. And then you have WordPress, okay? Amazon, forget that. WordPress, I think, in my opinion, is somewhere in between, all right? WordPress sits somewhere in between this and that because it does involve a little bit of customization and you got templates you can work with. Yes, but you do require a bit of skill working with WordPress, but it also is like a builder because a lot of the CMS is done for you. You're not coding, PHP and HTML from scratch. A lot of those templates that you get or what you want to call it, themes have already all of that coded for you. And then if you use something like Elementor, it is a bit like drag and drop, but it has more customization. So I think WordPress lies somewhere in between coding from scratch and online builder. That's why it's so popular, because it has a simplicity that you don't need to understand coding, but you have a little bit more customization. You can build a website, a WordPress website that's completely unique and doesn't look like something you picked out of a Wix catalog, right? So let's get started. Today, we are going to explore this platform called Softr, okay? And I'm going to be doing it step by step for you on this channel, on this video. And I'm also using this for the first time. So we're going to explore as well the simplicity of really using it. And can you, as a beginner, build a website from scratch using Softr? So let's get started. So let's head over to Softr. So this is what we're going to be using. This is a platform we'll be using. And as always, before I get started, I like to have a look at the pricing so that I know exactly what I'm tying myself down to. So there is pricing options. It starts from the free version all the way to up to 165 US dollars per month. Okay, so it can get steep depending on the specifications that you want. So let's see what we get on the free version. So we get unlimited applications. We can build as many applications as you like. Only one collaborator at a time. I can even add a custom domain, but I will not be able to get rid of the Softr branding, so everyone will know you built your website on Softr, which, if you want it for free, that's the price you have to pay. And there will be a membership option, but it will be in test mode. And this is not good if you're doing a professional website. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get here, because it will always have that sort of warning that you're in test mode. And if you want to remove it, you have to pay up to $65 a month for it, because this is the only option that doesn't have it. Over here, it's also in test mode, and the payment methods are also available, but in test mode, and you can only have up to 200 records. So this is very, very limited, right? It's really good for testing out the platform, seeing what it can do, deciding whether or not it's something that you really want to work with. But if you're going to build any application that requires client interface and you're working with a real business, for example, you're not going to want to work in test mode, and 200 records is not going to be sufficient. You're going to get to that limit very, very quickly. So at minimum, you're going to be paying $25 a month or $65 a month. So back to my scale, remember the pricing, and keep in mind that this is a monthly fee for as long as you are using this platform. So if you're building an e-commerce website, for example, 200 records is not going to be sufficient. You're going to end up having to pay $65 a month, and then you get 1,000 records, and that's sufficient. But the challenge with this as well is, keep in mind this is a monthly fee. So whether or not you're making sales, whether or not your business is making money, you'll still be paying $65 a month. And if you stop paying the $65 a month, they shut you off. This is very much like Shopify. And one of the reasons why I hardly ever use this type of platforms is that the cost is fixed, and it's fixed for as long as you're using it. And if you stop paying, they can just switch your website off just like that. So keep that in mind before you get started, all right? And again, one thing which sometimes gets hidden and people don't see, and I'm going to make sure you know this, is that you're paying $65 a month, assuming that you'll pay for yearly in advance. So you have the option of paying yearly in advance, or you have an option for really paying this monthly. And if you turn on the monthly option, you will see it's actually $29 and it's actually $79. This is if you really want to pay month to month. So if you're testing out an idea and you really want to pay month to month, you're going to pay $75. But if you are paying annual in advance, it will be $65 a month. So you must actually take this and multiply by 12, and that's the amount you will be paying, not $65. So remember that. So let's get back to the beginning, and let's go through this and let's build something exciting, okay? So what I want to mention here as well is that for the database section, because they talk about you'll be able to build database applications in 10 minutes, we will be using what they call Airtable, okay? Airtable is an online a database, really cloud database, but that has an online interface that looks very much like an Excel spreadsheet, and you'll see when we get to it, where you can have columns of your data, and rows of your data, and you can visualize it like an Excel spreadsheet, and then that ties directly to your application. So if you're doing an e-commerce store, for example, where you have product lists and product information, that product information, you'll be able to visualize it, the database, like an Excel spreadsheet. So that makes it really, really nice, and you don't have to build a separate admin back end to be able to visualize your application. So we will be working off Airtable, and one of these days I will do a complete Airtable tutorial, because I think it deserves its own tutorial, to be honest. So let's click on let's start for free button, and let's get started. Okay, let's enter our names there. Okay, we won't watch that video, but you can watch it if you want, right? So let's add a new application. Cool. Now, this is where you'll be able to pick from what application you want to build, all right? So this is a blank one, which means you will just be building it from scratch. Let's see, online course, e-commerce. Let's select this, all right? Let's select e-commerce, because I really want to see how easy it is to do an e-commerce here, all right? So connect your Airtable API key. So this is what I was talking about, the back end, all right? So the back end of your application will be Airtable, and they need the API key so that they can create the table that works with your front-end app, okay? So for that, we need to go to Airtable, all right? And there's a video here showing you exactly how to do that. So you go to Airtable, and let's have a look there. Yeah, click there and check account, and then you'll see the API key. All right. So at the top there, and click account, and this is your API key. All right. So I'm going to obviously select it and copy it, but so that you don't see my API key. All right, so once you've done that and you've pasted the API key over there, you have an option to use a template base, and I would highly recommend this, because then they will put in the the rows and columns hopefully as they should be, or use your own base. So I'm gonna go with the templates base. All right, I'm just gonna say copy template base. Oh, there it is at the top, copy base. And you can give it a name. Yeah, pick that workspace, that's all right. My first workspace. Add base. All right, and there it is. It's the base. We've just added the e-commerce base. So once you've done this, and you go over there, and you can just refresh so that it will show there, because I have a couple of bases. You should then be able to see that e-commerce base I'm showing over there. So select it like that. Select the clothing and finish. There you go, right? So this is your website, right? So let's go back to Airtable. And what I must mention at this point as well is that on Airtable has its own costs as well, all right? So when you're doing this type of application, bear in mind that you'll be paying for the software front end side, but you also might be paying for the Airtable side. The Airtable has the free version that I'm currently using, but the free version is also limited. They limit the number of records you can have and all sorts of things. So currently I'm on the free version, and I can at least test out the application with the free version. But obviously, if your website grows, you're going to have to consider costs involved with Airtable as well. So this is the website, but before I do anything over here, I just want to explore our Airtable template and what's in there and what has been included. So let's go to our Airtable. Let's click on the base that was added for us, the e-commerce. You'll see over there that this e-commerce base already has products and all sorts of things, and the way Airtable works, there's different views over there, and then you can see the data that's included, and you can click on this record, for example. You can change the name of the record. So let's say you don't want to call this hooded jacket. You just want to say jacket 1 black. You can change the records like that, right? Select options over there. You can attach an image, whatever it is, and then you can save this, all right? So let me see, where do you save that? All right, and then you can close it, and you'll see it has changed over there. So there are different views, okay? And you can add a different view if you want to see this in a list format, for example. I actually like to see in a list format, not grid. So if you wanted, for example, to remove these products and add your own products, I think you can just right click and delete a record. All right, that's how you can do it. So you can delete these records, you can delete those records. All right, where is it? You can okay, delete that record. All right, you can click on it and edit the record. All right, or you can delete all of these and add your own. All right, and if you wanted to add a new one, you could just let me just remind myself, how do you add a new record? Oh yeah, over there you add a new record there, so you can select a name. I don't know, shoes X, whatever it is you want to sell. You have to tag it, what type of so this is the base that came with this template. So let's say shoes is where is it, I don't know, casual, and no notes, 9 hidden fields. Let's expand the hidden fields. Yes, close it. The color, you can pick it's black shoes. The category, shoes. The purchase price in US dollars or currency. All right, so it's US dollars. So let's say the purchase price is $200. You can pick your size 8. The brand is my brand. All right, you can attach a picture of what those shoes look like. Let's see, upload a picture over there. Perfecto. So let's close that. Let's preview our website. Always a good idea to preview before you go live, and then you can see what your website looks like before you go live. All right. So this is that image over there. We didn't change it, but remember, you can change it if you like. Your product categories as well. This is based on what you have in here. Remember, this is based off this database. All right. So you can change them in here. All right, and then you can see what it looks like on a tablet, for example. So this comes fully responsive. All right, and you can see what it looks like on a mobile device as well. And it will always have that made with software. You won't be able to get rid of it on the free version. All right, so I'm going to then close that and publish. All right, so now when you publish it for the first time, you have an option to create your own custom domain, or you're gonna be working with this Shandis 841, or you can try and try and see if you can give it a different name. So let's see, let's call it Skolo Online software app. Let's see, that's available, which means if I wanted to use this domain for my website, I could do that. So at least it will say Skolo Online software.com, and then you can publish it. Let's see. All right, so my application was published. I should be able to view it. Click. Okay, I'm not adding a custom domain. I just want to see it live. So I'm gonna go and find that dot. What is it? What is that domain again? Okay. Oh, publish. You must publish it first. Sorry. Okay, so it's published, and so then how do I find it? So let's have a look over there. Okay, so the application name is that one. The subdomain, I thought I had changed this. What happened there? Skolo Online. All right, so I didn't, okay, so let's save that. So it is Skolo Online. You can add a fave icon here as well. Let's have a look. Let's pick that fave icon. All right. And then we will save it. All right, style and colors. I'll just leave it as it was before. Okay, save. Custom domain. I'm not going to do the custom domain for now. Integrations. So we've done Airtable integration. That went well as well without a hitch. So that's also done. And SEO, that's all right. User agent disallow. Let's disallow this for now because this is a test app which I'm going to delete as soon as I'm done there. Custom code, if you want to enter custom code, you have to upgrade. So you're basically stuck. This is all the customization you can do. So when it comes to default style and colors, this is all the customization that you can change with respect to the colors. But obviously over here, when you look at the home page, there's no data. No, I mean the building blocks. There it is. So you can customize a little bit over here. Pick the type of, like you can change, you can remove this, add something else, pricing, gallery. So you have the option to add all of these, lists, footers, FAQ, if you wanted to add an FAQ, so there's a lot you can play with, right? I think I've showed you enough to get started. We'll have a look at our website. I see it's still not there. I can't find the application. Let's see, how do you actually find where the website is? I've published it. All right, Skolo Online. I don't want to edit it again. I have published it. skoloonline.softr.app. But where is it? Now that's something that should be simple enough for a beginner to be able to know where to find the application. And I can't figure it out. I'm here looking. This is something that should be simple and straightforward. Get shareable link. Let's see. Okay. All right. There it is. Okay, so this is then, preview. So it says Skolo Online preview, but if you removed preview, would that not be the actual app? Oh, there it is. Skolo Online software.app. So why can't I? So weird. Okay. So that's your application. All right. Let's see it. There it is. See more. I want to see my red shoe that I just added over there. Where is it? There it is. Let's see the detailed product page. Okay, so because I didn't put a lot of information, there's nothing for to show over there. And your store will always have this made with software on it. So you won't be able to get rid of that. Let's say if somebody wanted to buy this, they would be able to place an order with you. Name of product. Okay, so they have to select from a drop down. All right, Angelina, the size extra small. So I have to enter my name here. Let me try my email address. My phone number. Thank you. And then I place an order. Something weird happened. Unable to create Airtable record with given parameters. Error type unknown field name message. Unknown field name. Okay, so that's weird. So the app doesn't work out of the box. Okay, so there's probably some more customization that you need to do, but I won't do that online. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. It looks like this information is not available on an Airtable a database because it looks like this is the only table that comes. So the eCommerce front end table is the only one that comes with this. So you probably have to create a back-end table for that. So there's more work that you have to do on the application itself to create those tables, and obviously also incorporate payment processing and whatever. It's really up to you, but I'm going to end this tutorial here and let you figure those out by yourself. But definitely I've proven that it is possible to create your own website from scratch on Airtable without any coding skills, just connection with an Airtable database backend, and you're good to go. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you again next week.